Hey everybody, Mr. Reen here, and today for our first guide video, we're going to be looking at how to set up an experiment using some different resources that's going to help test that guiding question, that focus question we had at the start of our lesson. It's going to help us obviously understand what's going on with the pod and all the new information we got from Dr. Gonzalez. So, to start, let's take a minute to think about this experiment. Your job will be to plan and conduct an experiment to help you collect data to answer our focus question. Our focus question is, if the same strength force is exerted on two different objects, how might their change in velocity be different? So we know that with our pod, we have a lost signal moment where nobody knows what happened. We now know that there was a normal thruster force and that our space pod had an unknown amount of material in terms of asteroids. And our job is going to be to conduct an experiment to not only help us understand what's going on with the pod, but to collect data to use as evidence as to what could be going on in space. So the results of your lab will help us explain what might have happened to the pod, its thrusters, and the unknown amount of asteroid materials. So let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to conduct this experiment. So to test our focus question, you're going to need to create an experiment and collect data using our 5 materials that you see here. You're going to have a toilet spring roll, you're going to have some stopwatches, ping pong ball, golf ball, and a meter stick. Your experiment will need to use the launcher to see how exerting the same strength force on the ping pong ball and the golf ball affects their velocity. Your experiment will create a cause and effect relationship between the launchers and the two balls and their change in velocity that we observe. Okay, so this is going to be kind of the focus of our experiment. Now, let's talk about our variables. The cause and effect relationship that we're creating between the launchers and the two type of balls and their velocity change will be the focus of our experiment. So we're going to use the same strength force on both of them. We're going to cause this change in velocity, and we're going to observe the effect of the two objects. So understanding this cause and effect relationship will help us set up our experiment, and with our 3 variables, it'll help us kind of break down what we're doing in our experiment. So remember, your independent variable, we looked at this in a previous lesson, is what you're changing or making different within your experiment. Your dependent variable is what you observe and measure change because of your independent variable. And the control variables are the things that you need to keep the same within your experiment so you can trust your results. So that allows the cause to only be the only thing creating that specific effect. So your job is going to be to take our experiment and break down, obviously, what our variables are so we understand how we're setting up our experiment. So take a second. Do you understand the cause and effect relationship that we're testing in our experiment? Cause and effect. Do you understand how to find the 3 variables within our experiment? So thinking about our experiment here. Go ahead and take a second to fill out your survey. The next task is going to help you break down those variables. If you have questions, reach out. Otherwise, good luck.